Hello, good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here today with Mauricio Cárdenas. It's very nice to have his presence here with us from GreenTech América Latina. Since our name is GreenTech América Latina and he leads Câmara Verde de Comércio in Colombia. I think we have shared interests, and I'd like to start inviting him to describe himself in one word. Mauricio, could you describe yourself in one word?
Well, let's say generosity.
That's very nice. That's very nice. What about Câmara Verde? Could you do the same?
I would say solidarity.
Very good, Mauricio. The idea was just to start as a warm-up for our conversation, asking you that, and I'm very pleased to hear what you just mentioned. Could you please explain a little bit of what you do and what Câmara Verde is doing there in Colombia? We have people from all Latin America interested to know more.
Okay. I'm an industrial engineer by training and have been working as a management consultant and manager in various areas for more than 30 years now. 8 years ago, I became co-founder of the Green Chamber of Commerce in Latin America, headquartered in Bogotá, Colombia. Nowadays, we have member companies and green startups in several countries, in Mexico, in Ecuador, in Peru, and Chile. Hopefully, we'll have, with your support, Tiago, members as well in Brazil. So what do we do for the members in Cámara Verde, or the Latin America Green Chamber of Commerce? We connect, we strengthen, and we partner with key stakeholders of the entrepreneurial ecosystem, not just in Colombia, but in Latin America. And we do this in order to help green startups grow. The key stakeholders that we permanently are connected with are the investors, the anchor companies, the financial entities who have both green credit lines and investment lines. We also work with NGOs and foundations, and finally with research institutions and government agencies. Currently, we have over 600 companies and startups who are members, and I'm transitioning into Mexico, so hopefully we'll take the lessons learned in Colombia.
Mauricio, very interesting. Would you say that challenges from Colombia, they are very different from Mexico, or maybe from Ecuador, or from Brazil? What do you see most, and what is more difficult for implementation of sustainable technologies in the region?
Well, I would say that the different countries, including the US or Europe, have similar challenges with on a different degree. Maybe the main challenge that all these green startups and sustainable companies have is for consumers to become conscious about their role and about their sustainable behaviors and ways for them as consumers to contribute to reducing the impact of climate change. And this is everywhere. There are countries like Colombia where the percent of people who are conscious and worried about their consumption patterns are probably a tiny minority, less than 10%. So we are upwards a battle to raise awareness among the 90% who are not consuming organic agriculture, or who are not using renewable energy, or who are not worried about fast fashion. We have an uphill battle there. According to our allies in Mexico, the numbers are probably around the same percentages. So that would be the first challenge to tackle. And the second one is, of course, the willingness of companies, big, medium, and small, to partner in sustainable value chains. One of the most common activities we do at the Latin America Green Chamber of Commerce is business rounds, where we bring together big companies that have purchasing power to know small startups who might support them and become suppliers, and at the same time help the big companies solve sustainability challenges. To be honest, in Colombia, the percent of big companies who want to build sustainable supply chains is also small. There's a lot of talk, but very little action. And of course, there are exceptions. We work with the exceptions, but we are also against an uphill battle in that regard. So those would be the two more immediate challenges.
Mauricio, how do you see Latin America as compared to other countries, more developed world? Are we really behind? Are we somewhat well positioned? What do you think are the main opportunities here?
Yeah, we are behind, definitely, particularly with respect to Europe. We are somewhat behind the United States, but there's also been reluctance to, for instance, do the energy transition. I lived in the US for more than 17 years, and the percent of energy generated from non-conventional renewable sources has increased very, very little in 30 years. So we, as far as your first question regarding the likelihood that green tech will grow, of course, in the European countries, they are way ahead. In the US, it's like an intermediate level. And yes, I can't speak on behalf of Brazil. You may, but in most Hispanic countries in Latin America, I do see we are behind. There are two exceptions to this rule. The main one is Costa Rica, and the second one is Chile. In a country like Colombia, we're slowly increasing the percent of energy generated from non-conventional renewable resources. we are still behind Chile and certainly behind Costa Rica.
Very, very interesting. Mauricio, what would you say are, for example, the main achievements you could reach so far? And what would be your closing message to the public?
Well, the main achievement of the Latin America Green Chamber of Commerce has been our consistent growth as far as membership, as far as attendees to our events, as far as alliances, both in Latin America, as the one we have with GreenTech América Latina, and with Europe and the US. We somehow are taking advantage of the concern that millennials and now centennials have about responsible consumption. And in the case of Colombia, we are obviously taking advantage of the biodiversity of the country, which is a tremendous resource for a number of issues that haven't been solved, including nutrition, including the taking advantage of biomass for energy production. In the case of Colombia as well, the solar energy and aeolic energy potential. So I guess the interest that we have among our partners to join hands and help turning the economy at a higher pace into a green economy. We are percentage-wise far behind, as I mentioned, but there are a number of initiatives in the industries that I mentioned: energy, mobility, food production, fashion, construction, that have become slowly but surely more relevant in the country. So we are part of that green wave, so to speak.
Mauricio, I'd like to thank you very much for the interview today for GreenTech América Latina. It was great to hear more about Câmara Verde de Comércio and know what you're doing in the region, important in Colombia and Mexico, and reinforce our commitment to help you develop the connections in the region and improve the green tech space in our countries. Thank you very much.